Dear students, today let us try to understand what are different kinds of internet access services available to us. Okay, we may be already making use of different kinds of services from internet service providers, ISPs. And when internet came into use, people actually started with dial-up services. Initial days, we had BSNL dial-up services enabled with their telephonic systems made use by people all around India, and later onwards, we witnessed significant developments in connecting to internet through multiple modes. As you find here on the screen, so there is a phone modem, which is actually a dial-up modem. It can be either internal modem or an external modem, which can be fit into a PC, personal computer. And it was actually a temporary connection. Dynamically assigned IP number was there. So today we make use of various advanced services. Say nobody makes use of dial-up services in these days, because it is actually an old conventional strategy of getting connected to the internet. And technology was not so much improved in the beginning, and people have to depend on dial-up services. I personally remember having connected to dial-up services in the 1990s, and in order to open a web page, especially for checking our emails, we had to wait hours and hours to get to know subsequent pages of our mail service. And today we have the introduction of broadband services with broadband modems that can be used either with single pieces or multiple pieces. And broadband modem and internet connections provide persistent connection, and IP number may remain constant throughout sessions. So IP number is very often addressed with internet protocol address, which is actually a unique number. It could be either dynamic or static, and which is actually a measure of security feature inbuilt into the internet system. Okay, we find there are, besides broadband modems, there are other connecting devices. Ethernet hubs, switches are made use of in order to connect to various computers in a computer lab, or for example in a language lab environment. We have to get connected to the internet with the help of multiple computers. And multiple PCs, personal computers, can be connected to the broadband modem with the assistance help of an Ethernet hub or switch. ISP, Internet Service Provider, may change for additional IPs, Internet Protocol addresses, or one PC can act as a proxy gateway for other PCs. Say, having connected to a single system, we can give multiple connections to the rest of the computers in a lab. And along with the broadband modems, we have something called internet gateway routers. So routers actually enabled us to have extra features like DHCP and NAT. Okay, broadband modem with multiple PCs can be connected with the internet gateway routers. Okay, and this internet gateway router includes extra features DHCP, NAT, and which is actually an assigning additional IPs to all computers. And it can also function as a firewall, which is actually a security feature, and connect to print servers. And only the router's IP number is seen by the ISP, Internet Service Provider, and the other IP addresses given to the rest of the systems in a lab are actually inbuilt in a LAN system. Okay, there are various types of home setups of internet connectivity of computers. If you see the screen, there is actually an ISP network, Internet Service Providers Network. They have special access to mail service from the internet, and through modems actually help us to convert analog signals to digital signals. Okay, as they come through the telephonic lines, they are analog signals. Analog signals are to be converted to digital signals in order to get data into our systems. And there are modems at the both the ends. And having received analog signals, we transform it to digital signals, and we make use of the data services through the availability of home personal computers. Okay, so you can see that the representation of internet provided through ISPs, internet service providers, with internet modems, and routers can again be rechanneled to wireless routers, and it can be connected to either mobile phones, laptops, smart TVs, to our computers, and many such infrared devices. Here again we have the setup of networking of multiple computers with the use of internet through different ISPs, internet service providers. Okay, here there are different computers, servers set up, and how internet has been channeled. So the ISP provides an internet connection to a particular modem, and through its mail server, the rest of the computers are being served. Okay, today we speak of different types of connections, not only dial-up or broadband connections. There are even satellite internet connections possible these days. So there are wireless routers available, especially for connecting to internet. We have many mobile towers, and directly from mobile towers we can connect with our tabs, smartphones, laptops, computers, etc. And there may be perhaps an extended SIM utility that is possible with a lot of data connectivity devices. Okay, what is the role of ISPs? Internet service providers usually employ a range of technologies to enable consumers to connect to their network, both for home users as well as for small business groups. They have multiple services like dial-up service, DSL service. DSL stands for Digital Subscriber Line, and they have additional service which is known as ASDL, Asymmetric Digital Subscriber Line. And they have also broadband wireless cable modems, fiber to the premises, FTTH. FTTH actually stands for fiber to the home services, and integrated services digital network, which is known as let me once more describe the full form of FTTH. FTTH refers to fiber to the home, which is the delivery of a communications signal over optical fiber from the operator's switching equipment all the way to a home or business, thereby replacing existing copper infrastructure such as telephone wires and coaxial cables. And ISDN refers to Integrated Services Digital Network. Okay. For more demanding requirements, there are many other types of connections. Ethernet connections are there, Metro Ethernet connections are there, Gigabit Ethernet connections, frame relay. What is a frame relay? Frame relay is a packet switched communication service from LANs, local area networks, to backbone networks and WANs, wide area networks. It operates at two layers, physical layer as well as a data link layer. Actually, frame relay uses virtual circuits to connect to a single router to multiple remote sites. Okay, this is frame relay is also used by internet service providers. ISDN, satellite internet access, and synchronous optical networking, shortly known as SONET, are more likely to be used by users all over the world. Now, let us see what is the advantage as well as the disadvantages of dial-up services. Dial-up services is said to be the oldest method used even today, and of course it's not very commercially used by people, and it's an old technology, and it consumes only little data, and of course it is low priced. Speed ranges from 2400 bps, bits per second, to 56 kbps, kilobits per second. So this is a very low range internet connectivity, and it gets connected to networks when computer dials from its phone number. An analog connection, data is being sent over analog, and analog connection gets transformed to a digital connection, and modem helps for this process. Modem converts received analog data to a digital and vice versa. Connection is not always good, and data rates are limited, and dial-up uses normal telephonic lines. Okay, there are advantages as well as disadvantages for dial-up services, and these such services are not mainly used by the consumers. This is actually a setup for a dial-up connection. We have to give our telephone number, and access is given to the users on the provision of usernames and passwords. And what is ISDN? ISDN stands for Integrated Services Digital Network, and there is advanced speed from dial-up services given here. And speed ranges from 64 kbps to 128 kbps. Okay, these are traditional accounts, and there are sufficient improvements given to such networks, and it actually enables an international communication standard for sending voice, video, and data over digital telephone lines or telephone wires. Now, the next connection is DSL. DSL stands for Digital Subscriber Line. It has its advanced versions of ADSL as well as SDSL. It is also called on connection because we need not dial up. It's always connected to the internet because it uses existing two-wire copper telephone line connected to the premises. And ADSL as well as SDSL are two main categories of DSL for home subscribers. ADSL stands for Asymmetric Digital Subscriber Line, which supports data rates from 1.5 to 9 Mbps, okay, megabits per second when receiving data, and this is known as downstream rate, and from 16 to 640 kbps when sending data, known as upstream rate, and it actually requires a special modem to get connected to. What about SDSL? SDSL stands for Symmetric Digital Subscriber Line. It allows for more data to be sent over existing copper telephone lines, and it also supports data rates up to 3 Mbps, requires special SDSL modem, and it works by sending digital pulses in the high frequency area of telephone wires. It is also called symmetric because it supports the same data rates for upstream as well as downstream traffic. And all types of DSL technologies are collectively called as XDSL. Its connection speed ranges from 128 kbps to 8 Mbps. So there are also other networks known as cable networks. Cable modem operates over cable TV lines. So we have, for example, our Asianet cable network internet connectivity. Such internet cable internet works by using TV channel space for data transmission. Certain channels used for downstream and others for upstream transmission. Coaxial cables are used, and there is more bandwidth with the telephonic lines, and its speed is having fast access of